wrestling fans, thanks for clicking the Dreaded D-Rose report. No music today, maybe tomorrow. This is out for immediate release, it says, from New York, New York. Recent rumors regarding Scott Hall following a drug overdose were denied by Scott Hall's rep, Gina Genevieve of Lightning Entertainment. Said, I just spoke to Scott. He's at home doing fine in Orlando, Florida. Said late last night, Scott was admitted to the hospital due to extreme low blood pressure, and his doctor changed his blood pressure medicine. Scott never overdosed last night. He's still recovering from last summer's double pneumonia and is being treated for heart. It says being treated for heart. That's all it said. Anyway, Scott regularly visits the hospital for blood work and checkups. All these rumors on the media are completely untrue and fabricated. Scott is thankful to all of his fans and their continuous support through thick and thin, looking forward to his future appearances throughout the states. Signed, Gina, whatever her name is. Alright, the only thing I know, he got his medicines from the guy that used to do prescriptions for Jimi Hendrix, but messing with it. Anyway, former WWE star Dan Spivey and former WCW star Eric Watts, not the one on Tough Enough competitor, they were in town for WrestleMania over the weekend too. Current plans for WWE Superstars, now that it's finished on WGN, is to air shows internationally and WWE's YouTube channel. I got a feeling soon there's going to be a lot of releases coming up. They usually always do after WrestleMania, and of course with one show kind of going off to the side. Got to give something for Yoshi Tatsu. I like him. Trish Stratus, she's going to be promoting WWE Tough Enough tomorrow morning between 7 and 9 o'clock on the Today Show. And I think I don't think that was this morning. I think it's tomorrow morning. I think Today's show's on tomorrow. All right, WWE's creating an animated project around Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara. There is also talk that using Mattel's Rumble figures is some kind of animated project. I knew with the PG, with everything going down to G rating on wrestling, that sometime or the other we're going to be watching cartoons, and it's coming. Just kick us old fuckers in the head and get rid of us, I guess. We like wrestling. And what's that ring called now? With the ropes on it? And if it's not a wrestling ring, it must be a stage, a riser. I don't know what they're going to call it. One of the subbers said WWE stands for nothing. Coming out this week, WWE's NXT, Titus O'Neil. He has 9 redemption points. Darren Young, 7 redemption points. Brian Saxton has 4. And did you know that NXT is still around? I don't know if they're going to have another season or not. I haven't heard on that. Sunday's WrestleMania 27 gate from Atlanta, Georgia at the Georgia Dome now ranks as the second highest live event WrestleMania in history. Second to WrestleMania 25 from Houston, Texas at 7.2 million. This year's WrestleMania Mania 27 from Atlanta drew 6.6 million. It will always be higher WrestleMania after WrestleMania. Doesn't matter about the crowd because of the ticket prices. Dutch Mantel wrote the following on his Twitter that about Tough Enough contestant Jeremiah Riggs. Says, keep an eye on Jeremiah Riggs on Tough Enough. He trained at my school, the University of Dutch. Says, tough kid. And if you haven't watched Tough Enough, it was great. I really enjoyed it. And they do a lot of reruns on replays on USA, so you can probably catch it about any time. WWE's long-term direction for WWE champion The Miz is to have him turn babyface eventually, which won't take long because he doesn't have a hair on it. R-Truth, he's going to be appearing at Kmart, St. Paul Road, I guess, Paul Road in Rochester, New York, 1 till 3 p.m. June 11th, if you live around there. Last night's WWE Superstar broadcast on WGN was the last episode on the network, unless something changes, like some money, WWE giving it to them cheaper, This past Monday's Raw from the Phillips Arena, Atlanta, Georgia, drew 15,654 fans, with about 12,500 fans of those being paid, and the 7th consecutive sellout for Raw. Hang on a second. Sorry, I'm back. Sorry, I am back. Drew McIntyre, he's got a new Twitter account. It's called The Chosen One, WWE at Twitter. All right, matches for tonight's SmackDown includes Big Show, Kofi Kingston, Kane, and Santino Marella taking on the Core in 2 out of 3 falls. And Cody Rhodes versus Beretta. Kelly, Beth Phoenix taking on Le Coup. Plus, Christian versus Alberto Del Rio, the main event to determine the #1 contender for the World Championship title. Kane's going to be appearing at Kmart, and it'd be scary to find Kane at Kmart. Whew. Aurora Avenue, Seattle, Washington, 10 a.m. Don't say till when, May 22nd. Yoshi Tatsu noted on his Twitter that he's writing a column for Japan Wrestling magazine, Weekly Pro Wrestling. And as noted before, Goldust will be WWE's. He's going to be on WWE's Revenge Tour of the UK in April. Goldust said on his Twitter he will be appearing at April 17th Raw event from England. Clips from WWE Tough Enough, where Steve Austin told the bottom 3 about wrestling Yokozuna, and he said Yokozuna slammed him and he shit his pants, but he finished the match. I don't think Yoko was probably too excited about it. Anyway, David Arquette said following his time in WCW in a new interview with IGN to promote Scream, he says, it was so surreal. He said it was like the opportunity to play cops and robbers. Stan, the man with the watch, said this week's episode of NXT had 10 minutes 40 seconds of in-ring wrestling, up this last week from 6 minutes 24 seconds. Ooh, no wonder they're dropping the name wrestling out of this. USA Network issued a press release hyping WWE and 12 million unique viewers for their 4-hour block of programming on last Monday, and indicated, of course, by the Raw Hall of Fame and Tough Enough, this year's Hall of Fame broadcast was the most watched ever, coming out of last night's TNA Impact. Let's go to the other channel. They have wrestling on there, I think. Anyway, here's an updated card for TNA's Lockdown pay-per-view, April 17th. We got Mr. Anderson taking on Rob Van Dam and Sting for the world title. Lethal Lockdown is going to be Flair, Abyss, Brother Ray and Matt Hardy taking on Daniels, Kazarian, and Beer Money. Knockouts versus hair match. Madison Rayne versus Mickie James. Ultimate Escape match. Max Buck, Jeremy Buck versus Suicide versus Robbie E. Amazing Red, Sabin, Lethal, Brian Kendricks, they're all versus each other. Kurt Angle, by the way, is taking on Jeff Jarrett again. And Matt Morgan taking on Hernandez. Pope taking on Samoa Joe. Scott Steiner and Crimson versus Inc. versus Doug Williams and Magnus versus Orlando and Eric Young. Pre-show is Nikwa versus Brother Devon. I missed that. Stand Man again. Word is that there was 30 minutes and 11 seconds of in-ring action on Monday's Raw, up 17 minutes, 39 seconds from last week. Stan, do something on TNA, huh? See how they go. Another wrestling legend was in attendance at WrestleMania 27 Atlanta, Georgia, was Larry Axe Hennig, grandfather to Michael McGillicuddy. Noted earlier, Sonny announced that the current diva is going to be getting married. Well, we found out that the diva is Gail Kim, and she's going to be marrying celebrity chef Robert Irvin, and the two were spotted at WrestleMania 27 this weekend. He went with her to the Hall of Fame. Then he probably went to skin diving. WrestleMania 27 on Blu-ray and DVD comes out next month. We're going to be featuring classic wrestling moments, and I believe it's going to be the complete Hall of Fame, which I'd like to see. Hey, thank you guys for clicking. I gotta go.